Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Bill Faith, and this is Chris Wharton. Welcome to the live introduction of marketmystr.com. If my eyes look a little bit bloodshot and blurry, no, I'm not smoking the weed. Literally, Chris and I have been in the OBX, and the mastermind got home late last night, and I'm a little bit tired. How about you?
Very tired, but this is a piece of software that is so important that even a day full of coaching calls, for those of you who are in some of our programs, know that Thursdays is basically nonstop coaching for us. That we wanted to be able to get this broadcast as soon as possible. And
Limo office hours, LabX, or not LabX office hours, Host Academy office hours, Accelerator
after it.
This is what we call stretching. So we've got 81 people in. So it's been a minute. Let's just get right to it. Good morning, everybody. Please say hello in the comments. Let us know where you're from. I see Dan, Tammy, Don, Jeremy, San Antonio, Norman, Oklahoma, Branson, Missouri, Charlotte, North Carolina. A Facebook user said good morning. Good morning to you. Here's the deal. January of 2007, bear with me here for 90 seconds. I'm going to give you a little background here. I have a limousine company that I started here in Nashville, January of 2007. I don't even remember how I found it, but I found this small little startup company in Cambridge, Massachusetts called HubSpot. Dharmesh Shah and Brian Halligan had just founded HubSpot about 4 months previously. They had 6 employees. I was their 33rd customer. And when you get, and think about it now, if you bought HubSpot and you got welcomed by Dharmesh Shah, at the time was the co-CEO founder of the company, how would you feel if that happened today, being a publicly traded, doing company that's doing like $600-700 million a year in revenue? Well, they started the inbound movement, the inbound marketing movement. I jumped on as an early adopter. At the time, I was about a $900,000 a year limousine company. And boom, 4 years later, I was the fastest growing company in the history of the industry because I was using the core 4 that we're going to introduce you today and exited the $10 million ground transportation company. What do you think I did after that? I leveraged the value of HubSpot and started Inbound Marketing Agents, my marketing agency, on the back of HubSpot. Then I built out their partner program along with Matt Killens and some other people there so everybody could experience that. Chris came to work for me about 5.5 years after that. Chris was post HubSpot. And what happens post HubSpot for me, and the reason you guys don't use HubSpot is the same reason I don't use HubSpot today. I can't cost justify it. For me to get in right now, it's going to be about somewhere between $2,000 to $3,000 a month. So that whole story is the predication of Chris and I have been using lead pages, ClickFunnels, Active Campaign, simple texting, all of these different things to host our sales pages, to do our email marketing. Like you might have lead pages and hero posts for social media and, MailChimp for email. And then it's hard and confusing to sync everything together. And then you just don't do anything. The other part about this is time. And what this all-in-one marketing software does, it gets your time back, but it lets you execute. Because I just recorded a podcast about this, and I'm going to tell you right now, all the influencers and coaches like myself are trying to fearmonger you and sell their shit to you by using the hashtag Airbnb bust. There is no Airbnb bust. If you were in this business in 2017, 18, 19, all we've done is the numbers are very similar to 2018 and 19. But the one thing that we cannot do, sure, there's no question, demand has slowed down. Bookings have slowed down. But if you are good at pricing optimization, number 1, listing optimization, number 2, and off-platform marketing, you're thriving right now because 99% of the people in our industry do not do it. Here's my mission. Somebody asked me this. I woke up this morning, someone wished me happy birthday, and they said, Bill, why is this platform $97? Does it suck? Literally, that was a DM in my Instagram. Because you can't get this, Chris knows this, for less than about $300 to $400 a month. And the reason it is I have a tremendous partner named Scott, who we just happened to meet with our the common interest of our daughters playing soccer together. And Scott has rolled this out for Grant Cardone. And when he told me that and he just showed me on his phone, I'm like, dude, I'm all in. Help me. Not let's do this. Help me bring this to my community. Because none of us can afford $400 or $500 a month. Even if we have, even if you have 5 properties or 10 properties or 20 properties. And 2, this is going to save them time and give them the ability to be able to market the way that I do. 3 months later, here it is, folks, marketmystr.com. And just so you know, this founding price, this is for the founding members. It's good till June 5th. It's $97 a month for the host plan. Chris is going to show you this and open up the kimono, show you under the hood, whatever analogy you want to use here in a second. But I wanted to give you some backstory so you fully understand. I can afford HubSpot. I love HubSpot. I loved HubSpot. I still have a tracksuit from HubSpot. I went to the very first inbound. If anybody's here is a HubSpot user, I believe I live inbound marketing. But I can't afford it and cost justify it in this business. So Scott and I, just so you know, as partners in this business, are probably going to make about $7 or $8 off of the monthly subscription. I'm always 100% upfront, honest. This is not for us to get rich by any means. He's helping me bring this to you. And Scott, I'm sure he's here watching. I'm forever grateful, and I know my community will be as well. Yep. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Chris, so that way he can introduce you and show you literally exactly the benefits of marketmystr.
Yep. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and we're going to dive in. I'm going to try not to make this super, super technical because, as Bill mentioned, Scott and his team, they have the best walkthroughs and probably the best support I've ever seen for a platform like this. If you look at a platform like Lead Pages, for example, which we've used for many, many years, or even ClickFunnels, which we build a lot of stuff on, that if I have a support question.
I'm just going to jump in. That's our girl, Avery.
Yeah, that's insane.
Avery, I'm going to get you off of HubSpot, girl. We need to talk when we get done because I was on that thing for 7 years. I love it. But here it's impossible to leave, unfortunately.
Yep. So when you get into some of these other platforms, when it comes to support, when you have questions or need help or want documentation videos, it's usually hard to get in contact with someone. So Scott's team is incredible between answering support during normal business hours, like you would hope someone actually would, message you back, email answer support, doing the weekly, bi-weekly, Tuesdays and Thursdays calls. Actually, he has a day even like ours because he does the calls at 12 Central Time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That the support is just unmatched. And when you get into a platform like this, the hardest part is getting in and getting those quick wins, building a page, posting some things on social media, getting an email launch, getting those quick things because you have to set some stuff up. And so one, they offer a white glove service. So for those of you who aren't necessarily tech savvy, that's perfect for you. They'll tell you exactly what they need from you. They'll walk you through it. They'll do the screen share. They'll take over your computer if they need to actually get you fully onboarded and set up in like an hour.
Let me give them some context with that, Chris. This is, I guess I am. I'm going to compare this to OwnerRez or Guesty as enterprise softwares, right? Mm-hmm. And there's stuff in here that we won't even talk about that you won't use because there's so much more because we don't want to confuse you. But here's the deal. It's $250 for Scott to do the white glove setup. Like Chris said, you'll be done in an hour. And here's the analogy. If I tried to do this on my own, I'm estimating it's 4 to 5 hours of my time. Scott will send you a checklist. You just have your GoDaddy, have your email stuff ready to go. It'll take you like 15 minutes to figure that out. And then Scott's team will have you done live in 45 minutes. So you don't have to do it, but there is an added service. There is a cost to it, but money well spent to be up and running like immediately to be able to take advantage of, especially if you're going to take advantage of the 14-day free trial. You don't want to fumble around for a few days and blow through some of the days on the free trial.
Yeah, I want to highlight Nick's comment real quick. Scribed earlier this week, had a couple questions, sent email support. Scott replied literally in less than a minute. And that's one of the advantages. I'll show towards the end some of the more advanced features of the way that the chat integration and some of the email conversations integrate into the platform, how you can actually get mobile notifications and all kinds of other crazy stuff with the platform by doing that. It's part of the reason his team's able to keep up with the support so well because he uses the platform itself.
So Ben, you have both options. You can integrate this with your website, or you can eliminate your website and host all your web pages inside of this. As Chris is going to go through this, you guys will have, and Chris will answer all your questions as we go through here, I'm sure, but you have unlimited pages. And you can link them together, and you're going to have everything. It's one of the reasons that I don't like building a website unless you are like Chris, that can do CSS, that can write HTML, that can code. And once again, I'm just going to use myself. The reason I have Chris is because I can't do that stuff, and I need to go super fast. So when I get an email that there's a brand new compression event that's happening in Panama City Beach, and it's happening in 3 weeks, and I didn't know about it, I don't have time, and I don't want to spend the money to call my web developer, and they're going to charge me $500 and say, hey, build me a page, or, add this to the website, because then I lose time. When I find out about that, I want to go in and be able to click one of these 300 templates, plus the templates I'm supplying to you that I personally use, and be able to drag, drop, highlight, customize text, and in 10 minutes be up and running to be able to launch a Facebook ad, send an email, or post my social media link to go back to that. So speed and ease of use is something that is extremely critical here.
Yep. So I want to dive in. I want to talk about the core four. So we labeled it the core four because these are the 4 things that
you can just keep going.
Yeah, that hosts can do right now to start making changes. And it's landing page creation, email marketing, social media management, and then text message marketing. And the reason we start with landing pages because it's the one we've been most vocal about. But those 4 elements can move the needle, and usually are things that no one actually does. And so I'm going to dive into landing pages first to kind of give you an idea of the kind of the power behind it. So I get, like any other dashboard, things look complicated, right? You're like, I see numbers, I see letters, I see a bunch of stuff on the side. But it's actually, once you kind of get into it, one, the documentation over here in training support, step-by-step videos can walk you through a bunch of stuff. But also kind of once you get in it, you kind of get the feeling of, okay, sites is everything site related. It's funnels, it's websites, it's the chat widgets, the forms, everything like that. And then other places, marketing is most of them emails, planners, templates. You kind of get an idea of kind of the feel of where things are.
As you go through those landing pages, Chris, I just want to address it because everybody's asking about this. We even got this at the mastermind. Chris and I use one platform. We run Build STR Wealth. We run BuildFaith.com, the STR Super Team, Limo University, everything off one platform. You can use it for your property management, your co-hosting company. You can use it for multiple, properties that you own. You can use it for your roofing company. Avery can use it for the short-term shop for her personal properties, MTR, LTR, STR. She can use it. There's a CRM to be able to manage everybody inside of it. You can use it for anything that you want. There is really no limitations. And Remy, yes, once you have it set up, the UI is very, very simple. Thank you very much. That's kudos to Scott.
Yep. And real quick on that, Bill, I keep getting questions. I actually added to the FAQ of, is it per property? Because so much in our industry is like per property, per listing, per anything. Like, no. It's you as a company. It is your platform. And under that umbrella, like you said, Bill, if that means that you have your hosting, co-hosting, property management, construction business, side hustle on the other side, there's features we're not going to talk about today that can actually help a lot more in those businesses that aren't OTA related compared to just what we can do as a host. So like the depth of possibility is really endless once you put your mind around it to understand it's a landing page creator, it's a social media planner, it's a email marketing, text message marketing, a very powerful CRM. I'll dig a little bit into that towards the end of the conversation. Live chat, SMS, Google Voice phone, and kind of the follow-ups, the workflows. It's mind-blowing, the capabilities. I'm going to focus on the core 4 today, and then in future trainings, we can get into really get into depth and some of the really more advanced stuff inside of it. For those,
I just want to mention a couple more things. Those of you that are like me that have a bunch of other things, it's got video hosting. Mm-hmm. You literally can take payments. You have like Calendly replacement, Acuity, to where you can take calendar. You can literally set calendar appointments, do coaching, take payments right from it. It does everything, but that's not applicable to 99% of the people that are here. If you have a question about that, DM me or send me an email and I'll talk with you one-on-one about that or get you some information or put you directly in connection with Scott. But what we really want to do here is focus on the hosts that are literally like one property or really up to about 30 or 40 properties, right? Because If you're at 30 to 50 properties, you're in the Superhost program, right? And really probably everybody should look at the tier 2 because of the price point, because that's where you're going to get your automation and everything else. You can start at the 97 and then work your way up to the 197. But that bigger program is for whoever's asking about coaching and payments and all that type of the other stuff they want to integrate. That's what the next level is going to be.
Yep. So I'm actually going to make a new funnel just so I can show you some of the templates that are in here besides ours. So these are the ones back here are actually our templates we had loaded in. I believe that comes in the Superhost level that you actually get the templates built in that we've created for short-term rentals specifically, but their template library is actually impressive. As someone who's been through a ton of different types of landing page designers, pretty much every kind that exists out there, I've used at some point in time.
If you've used HubSpot or Unbounce or Lead Pages, this is the best tool that we've seen.
It's very, very powerful. And so this is a pre-made template. And this template honestly looks absolutely incredible. And the best part about it is if I just can hit continue for a second, actually load this template in for me to use. And usually like it takes a second to pop in. So I'll kind of keep talking while it does that. That it's just super, super easy. So I'm going to show you on a template that's not one of ours. I'm going to show you one of ours that's actually kind of built out and how easy things are. So here you go. Here's the one I just loaded in, the mountain travel template. I'm going to edit. And this is actually a funnel. So we haven't talked about this a lot before because Lead Pages and a lot of the other ones aren't capable of doing a funnel or step-by-step. So this one's actually, this is just like ClickFunnels in that you can build a true funnel, meaning you have a page that leads to a second page or a chance for a conversion. And then afterwards could lead to a thank you page. You can have a product that actually sells into something else. Like there's multiple steps you can take in it besides just the initial landing page. And that's what we focus on most of the time for 99.9% of people. I'm going to hit edit. I'm just going to show you kind of how easy the interface is to actually use. So just like any other drag and drop editor, basically it's rows and columns. And that's the way I like to focus on it. And when you think about things, everything's built in. Here's a row, that's one column. You know, here's a row that's one column. This is a row that's two columns. You can see the purple are columns. You can kind of see first column, second column. This is one row, one column. With that, I can just start dragging stuff around. So literally, if I want this piece of text over here, I can just drag it, drop it. Text goes over there. If I want it back where it was, I can drag it, drop it. I have all the elements on the right side. So I'm like, you know what? I want a bulleted list over here where this picture is. Boom, drag it. There you go. I can start typing in a bulleted list, easy like that. You know what? That looks bad. Boom, out of here, just like that. So like any other drag and drop editor, it's super, super powerful, super easy to modify. I can click on the background image. Here's the color, orange. I could switch it to another color if I wanted. Here's the image right here. You know what? Let's pick one of Bill's properties instead. Let's do this one. Boom, change that. It makes it hard to read. Well, let me change this, the background color of this area to white. You know what? That's not what I want to do. Let's change it back to clear. I can change just this column right here. Hit the settings in the column. Do the exact same thing. Boom, make it white. And there you go. You can it's so fast and so easy to move around. But like I said, the power is even in these templates, how easy it is to move things. Like this obviously is one built out image. Looks really, really good, but that's super easy to do in Canva. For any of you who played around in Canva a little bit, how easy it is to design stuff like this. But even, you know, collapsible areas, different ways to move stuff. This goes here, that goes there. Super easy to build, modify, edit. Like anyone who's been in any landing page designer, all works the same way. You get the usual headlines, paragraphs, bullet lists. You can do video, like Bill said. You actually don't have to embed your video in another site. So like for years, we've had to use Vimeo because YouTube's player can't control what happens after it. So we use Vimeo typically because Vimeo allows you to actually step-by-step protect what's shown in the video. Well, here I can actually just add a video in and just upload a piece of video content directly to the platform, and it will encode it and prepare it without needing to go that extra step. So you can see, like, super easy to move the typical features you'd expect and then some between maps, surveys, countdowns. You can do navigation menus for someone who is like, well, how do you want to build a website? There is a website feature, but it's there's just a ton of parts. And like I said, because it is basically a full funnel, you could actually do, now that I recommend this for hosts, but for those who are looking to use it for other purposes, order forms, checkout, order confirmations, the same way that they're built inside of ClickFunnels. It works the exact same way.
Is this similar to Elementor?
Very similar. So basically any landing page designer, if you've used Elementor or WP Bakery or any of the other WordPress based ones, or Lead Pages, Unbounce, ClickFunnels, they all work basically the same. That's rows and columns. Everything kind of goes down from there. The advantage of this type of version, and Elementor kind of works in the same way, is that it really is drag and drop. What you see is what you get. So if I hit the little preview of what this looks like, it's going to make me, maybe it won't. Literally, so this is where it's at currently, and here's the preview of it. It is what I see in my little editor here is what I get. And that's the power of it, is that you have the full control and ability to see what you get. And then I can click over here, look at the mobile version. Well, how does it look on mobile? And you can make adjustments. I can make adjustments just to this image, just on mobile. Do I want it to be there? Do I want it to not be there on mobile? Do I want this piece of text to be there? Do I want to change the font for this on mobile versus desktop? You have full, complete control over the viewing experience, so that you maximize what's being used for depending on how they're viewing it, whether they're on desktop or on a mobile device.
So a couple of data points. People are asking if this integrates with, excuse me, with the direct booking pages from like OwnerRez or Guesty. OwnerRez has a direct booking widget. So like as Chris showed in my template, you just copy the embed code widget and drop it onto these pages. Whether that's a WordPress page, a marketmystr page, a lead page. That's a great thing about having a booking widget. You can get rid of the pages that these PMSs supply because they're not designed for conversion. What we design is 100% for conversion. Let's see, if we already built and published pages within lead pages, can we import them? Joseph, you can import them. The team will do that for you. So they have like what we call custom calls to do importing, set up email templates, whatever. It's $75 an hour. They can probably get all of your templates done for $75. That just covers our cost for labor if you've already published into like lead pages. And somebody asked Jeremy, will this play with Boostly website? I use Hospitable. I don't know what play with Boostly website. What I can tell you is Boostly is all it is literally just a WordPress template that you're paying for. So if you, depending on how you want to use it, yes. So remember, this isn't, we haven't even got into the social media and text marketing and all the other stuff. This is just for the sales pages. So if you, Jeremy, that's a great question to expand on. If you don't have the ability to build out your own pages quickly, you could link these. All you have to do is change the hyperlink on the WordPress side, which is the Boostly side, or on this to link back and forth. So you can create 5 pages here. You create a menu at the top, and a lot of the pages come with it, and then you have a website that's built. That's the beauty. There's no reason to spend $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 to build a website when you can have everything under one house.
So I just added, and I don't want to get too into the weeds of the process. So basically, like I said, I added a brand new row, brand new column, and I added one of the many elements you can add, which is a piece of HTML or custom code. Open the editor, and then for those of you who have used the OwnerRez widget before, basically there's 2 parts. You create the what you want the widget to look like, and then I have the ability to select which property the widget works for, whether it's all the properties or a specific property. And I get this code. This piece of code works anywhere you can put HTML, right? So I just copied it, pasted it in, and then on this landing page, now I have for this particular property, and this is actually Amos Ridge, that it's the same exact booking widget you would have on top. You can get a quote, you can select number of guests. I could fill out all the things and either get a quote, or we have it set where you could book now. If they filled everything out, they can fill out the credit card, do everything right here without having to leave, without having to click anywhere else. They could book completely on any of the pages, whether it's just a landing page or if you build out a full-fledged website inside of it.
So Anna, that's the beauty of using this, right? We don't want to send them from here and increase friction and lose conversion by sending them someplace else. So as Chris just showed you, you embed the widget here. Now you have the flexibility here to build whatever you want. when we're doing guesty or hospitable or owner res pages, we don't have access to the code. We can't optimize for conversion. We can't optimize for SEO. We can't drop in video testimonials. We can't do anything with it. It's very limited. That's why we want to give you this easy, flexible program to where you can customize, and we're giving you some templates of our templates to be able to follow. That way you have everything ready to go right out of the gate. Should I abandon owner res hosted website and build one here? 100%. Whether it's lead pages or here or wherever. Look, I love this platform. That's why I'm bringing it to you. You can still use lead pages and bounce whatever you want. You can build it on. Chris could code his own inside of WordPress, or we've done them in Kajabi. We've done them in ClickFunnels. We've done them in lead pages. I've used lead pages prior to this because it's the fastest and easiest one for me to be able to use without having to get Chris involved. That's why I picked this platform with Scott as well, as I can go in and build my own pages from scratch. I still would use the templates because it's so fast and easy. And then I just grab the code from OwnerRes, just like Chris showed you, and just drop it right here. My bookings happen on this page, but it's the OwnerRes widget, so the information goes directly into OwnerRes. MarketMySTR.com, MarketMySTR can connect with almost every online platform, from QuickBooks to Facebook to Google Sheets to Stayfi through Zapier. If you're not familiar with Zapier, it is the plumbing underneath our sink, essentially, that connects, the bathroom to the bedroom. And it's the behind the drywall that we don't see, and it sends information back and forth with zaps between platforms. So literally, you take your Stayfi and I come and stay. I'm the booker. Chris is my guest. We check in at your 2-bedroom. We log on to the Wi-Fi. Boom, it instantly is going to zap right into your CRM and your email here.
Yep. So you saw I just took a template and you could easily modify it. For those of you who've been to some of our other more advanced marketing trainings, this is really where that ChatGPT plus Jasper can really come in handy. If you have ChatGPT, Jasper, and Canva, anyone should be able to knock out a page that looks like this, the Mountain Traveler one that we were just playing with and showing around. Like, some of these custom elements are super, super easy in Canva. And I might, in a future training, kind of go into how to design things like this, to make it look well-rounded, or just things that look super, super clean. But all that is extremely easy to do, and you can knock out an entire landing page if you didn't have the copy already in absolutely no time. But for those of you who joined the Superhost level, we actually already have our templates loaded in. So I was playing with one earlier to kind of get it a little bit cleaner, because basically it has placeholders in it. So places to put images, put your image here, that kind of stuff. But this already has, for a specific property, a lot of text already written out in it to kind of give you an idea where to start. As with anything else, whenever we provide templates, you want to read through it, make adjustments. Like, what works for this property won't work for your property because it's not your property. But it can at least give you an idea of what to say, what we're trying to say, where to put it. The beautiful thing is that you could actually, like, for those of you who have been ChatGPT fans, I need to do more trainings like this on ChatGPT. You can literally take this, a paragraph or two, and put it in ChatGPT and say, write like this, except for this property, or change out the name, the specific features, or where it is. And ChatGPT can be like, oh yeah, that's cake, and then just make you a whole new version using your example for it. So it's really, really easy to quickly get stuff out. But this is actually one of our templates we've built for short-term rentals specifically. So there's a way to highlight things, highlight hosts. You can put your booking widget in at the bottom, make it super, super easy. And again, all these images are replaceable. It's just a template to be able to help you get up and running faster. But just like all the plethora of other templates, it's very, very fast to be able to knock it out.
And the person that asked this question, all you have to do is just link them together. You can build a page here. You can link it to your WordPress. It's very super, super easy. Maggie, so Hero Post lead pages, campaign monitor, website, everything's gone. You can do 100% of everything here. That's why it's called an all-in-one marketing platform. Just think of HubSpot or Infusionsoft, but 1/10 of the cost.
Yep. And we've been pretty much just touching, like I said, we're going to touch on the core 4 today. So we've been in core number 1, which is landing pages. And we barely scratched the surface of that. You can create, funnels in here. I can make sure I have in here, chat widget, which we'll show off in a little bit, the tracking codes, so you make sure you have everything properly. So you have your pixels and all your other tracking from LinkedIn and Google Analytics, all that stuff in here, so you know what's going on. I can get the statistics of page views and opt-ins if you have an opt-in button, and all that information for certain statistics. And if you had products, it'd actually tell me sales, that kind of stuff as well. But super fast to build, super easy to build in. I've used way too many landing page builders, WordPress builders, different plugins for all those different platforms. And it is one of the best, kind of makes sense where things are. When I click something, the settings pop up. It just works. And when you're building out landing pages, you want it to just work. I don't want to get stuck and bogged down with like, well, how do I create what I want to create? It just works the way you expect it to. And their templates, besides the ones that we provide, that are SDR specific, are absolutely mind-blowing. So it really is an incredible tool, and that's just core number one. So that's landing page design.
Let's move on to the second core. Sean, yes, you can. We use Stripe for our payments. You can just take payments within the platform. Nicholas, yes, it can replace that. Person that asked about ChatGPT for prompts, we do that in some of our other trainings and programs. We don't have time for that here. Chris and I will be doing similar things like this, literally core by core, as we move forward, so that way we can give you some ideas and really help you through this program as well. But this is just to introduce it for you guys so you can see the back end. We do need to get through 31 minutes in. We've gone through core number one, so let's move on to core number two.
Yeah, we're going to get email marketing. So there's two parts, right? Anyone who's been in the email marketing, there's two parts to that. Part number one is how do you manage your list, your actual email list, and then part two is what do you actually send to your email list. So the contacts, their platform is incredible. So obviously this is my test account. It just has me in it with a bunch of fake phone numbers. I love y'all and everything, but I'm not going to give you my cell phone number. But you can have my email. I guess my personal email too, is now that that's out there. But basically through any contact, you have the ability to do several different things. So one, you can tag them. So this is the universal way across like pretty much all email marketing platforms to create a way to divide people later. So it doesn't help me just to have 1,000 contacts if I don't know what property they stayed, what market they're from, or any other helpful information about them. This is where tags can come in. So when you upload your email list inside of here, I can tag them to specifically say, okay, this person, I want to add that. I want to add a tag. This person stayed in Gulf Shores. Add that tag. This person stayed at Dragonfly, so I can say a specific property. I can add that tag. This person is did the pool heating. Boom, add that tag. So then later on, when I go to send an email out, so I go back to all my contacts, you see that this person now I have multiple tags in here. I can then send an email based on any of these individual tags. So instead of me just sending an email to everyone on my list, so for those of you who have multiple properties and multiple markets, all that kind of stuff, I can be more specific and say, okay, I just want to send people who were in Dragonfly, stay at this particular property. Or I want to send the people who stayed at, we have multiple properties in the Gulf Shores. So I want to send an email to everyone who stayed in Gulf Shores because there's a new event just launched. Hangout Fest just released their lineup, and I wanted to share that as an email. The more specific you are when you import contacts as far as where they're from, where did they stay, what information you have about them, the better it is later when you send emails out to be able to specifically speak to that person. This is the place where a lot of people mess up. They upload a list out of OwnerRez of like, I have all these contacts, and they put it in here, but they don't specify any of the information that helps you message them in a way that can actually impact their stay or their future stay because you actually know more information about them. So the first part is, is list. So the beautiful part is a lot of other platforms, you get dings by how many contacts you have. An active campaign, we're like on the fringe of having to move to the next level because of how many contacts. MailChimp charges you per contact. They all charge you per contact or per tag or however per list, all those things. There's none of that here. So basically this view is all the contacts. So if I had 50,000 contacts, they would all exist here. Then by tags and by filters, I can create what's called smart lists. And that's a way to be able to segment down, okay, I want all the Gulf Shores to be a list. I want all of Dragonfly to be a list. And that's kind of how it works. So the first part of any email marketing.
And those of you, I don't mean to interrupt, Chris, but those of you that are asking about tags and all the ideas and everything, we'll do a whole session just on that. You start with the location, the property, then you'll want to separate bookers and guests. I refer to them as clients and leads. That's the starting point. We'll get more in depth later.
Yep. And once you have your contacts, like, well, what do I send them? That's really the power of the platform. So one, I could send a super easy message. I'll actually go back to my contacts. So I could click me, and I could send an email, and basically if I just wanted to send an individual email, a pure text email, it's not a like template, as in like more visual, you can do that right here. I could also send a campaign that way, a full email to multiple people. I could select multiple people, send them an email. So there's quick ways to do it. If you were just sending out something quick, just text-based, not very visual. Or I can go back into the marketing, into the emails, actually build out a template. So I was playing with one earlier, and I'll show you that. I'll also show you some of the other templates they have. So just like my best comparison actually as an email builder is MailChimp, because it works in a very similar way where you have elements on the side that you can bring out. And like, let me pick a layout here, and let's see here, let's do a 2-column thing and see if it'll let me do it. So in here, it's basically just like the way MailChimp works, whereas like you edit, you click this is the preview what the email will look like. And then on this side, I have the ability to actually edit what's in here. So if I click into it, I can edit the text. I can change the other text. I can move stuff around. I can add elements. And then this is really where you have the ability. This is some lorem ipsums. I want to show some other visual elements. You can move stuff around. I can duplicate sections. I can delete sections, just like the landing page builder is, honestly. It's just that you have, you're building an email out. So you can make a little more visually compelling email. We usually like to tell people you have to play with both. Sometimes it's great just to write a pure text email and just share some information. But other times you want to add, say you did want to speak about Hangout Fest as my prime example, that you would want to add more imagery into it than just a piece of text. So the power in the email, in the email builder is incredible. So I built out my email, added some text, changed some stuff around, moved some things, added a button, got rid of a button, however I wanted to do it. I'm ready to send. And this is where those parts come in. So I could schedule it. I could send it now. I get to pick, who the from is, just like any other email provider, what the subject line is. But then I can choose what contact. So I could send this to one contact. So if I choose me again, I think I can choose me. There we go. I could choose me as an email. I could send to a smart list. Like I said, you can create things based on the tags or combinations of tags. So it's like multiple properties, multiple things, or I could send it to a specific tag. So like I said, I added Gulf Shores in earlier. So boom, I have that tag of Gulf Shores or Dragonfly or whatever the tag I wanted to be. I could send this email specifically to them, and then boom, send it out. So the email builder is just like any other email builder. Like I said, I relate it mostly to MailChimp and the way the editor works. But I can create these campaigns, use a template. There are a ton of templates already. So if I actually go into email templates and I make a brand new one, that email, choose a whole bunch of templates. And in here, just like in MailChimp, there's, tons and tons. I can kind of narrow it down, or I can just kind of keep loading and see which ones I like. You can get a little preview of what this email template looks like. This one's obviously super text heavy. And you just get an idea of, all right, yeah, this one kind of has the things I want. It has, image, has little icons, a big image up here. And then you can just load it in and start editing it. Cool things with all the templates is that you can actually create a bunch of there's two types of templates. There's like the full-fledged templates like these that are more visual. And then there's the quick templates. So if I added a quick email template, this is one of those like those common replies. This is where you can find those. So if someone had an issue, someone had the common things that you always reply to, you're like, yes, this is your billing, or this is the fix for that. The Wi-Fi is this, or the pool heating is this. You can create all those quick little templates in here and then have access to them from the contact level, from the this level, and text message templates work the same way. So I create just an SMS template. I can use any of the custom values, the contact information, their name, their address, any of the stuff I know about them, and use that inside a template to be able to create real quick and easy text message templates as well for those quick answers to things.
So quite a few of you have asked this question. Chris, can you just take 30 seconds and will you show the two plans and explain the difference in the host and the super host as we keep going? A lot of people are asking about the difference.
The biggest difference, and this is the comparison chart really does the best job. The core 4, both of them have. The extra features, we call them the pluses, live chat, mobile app, CRM, reputation management, the conversations, hosted videos, both of them have. The big difference between the two is websites. I'll show the difference between what a website is and what a landing page is in a second. Forms, automations, and some of the more advanced tracking. This is like, if they click a link, they can create an action from that link, the trigger links. Those things are in the superhost and the next level. Most people would focus on the superhost. That are not included in the host.
So this has nothing to do with number of properties. It has everything to do with the automation, the surveys and forms that you can send via text and or email, full-blown websites versus linking your sales pages together. For me, I don't see that as I don't need that because I do sales pages anyways, but in the tracking. There's one thing that's not listed on here. This is where you get my stuff as well. So we give you some stuff to use. The big plan is where we're giving you everything, right? But here you'll get the sales pages that Chris has shown you, and then eventually we'll add some email templates and some of that other stuff as well to make it really easy for you. But the automation is really the number one thing that becomes absolutely paramount. Would you agree, Chris?
Yes.
No, we don't. So with this, just so everybody's clear, this does not replace Guesty, Hospitable Owner Res. This does not replace Price Labs. This is a marketing tool. This is an all-in-one marketing platform that will allow you guys to save a shit ton of time, get a lot more marketing on multiple channel, omni-channel marketing, and eliminate a lot of costs when you try to piece everything together.
And so let me actually show you the difference real quick because the question was asked of website versus a landing page or a funnel. So funnel
I want to make this clear too, Chris, because a lot of people are asking. So June 5th is when Founders pricing goes away. If you upgrade and you're on the $97 plan, which is the host, and then you want to upgrade to Superhost, you won't be able to get the Superhost at $197. That will be $297. And at some point, just like everybody else, Facebook was free, then they launched ads, whatever that is. Some point we will raise those prices again to where Scott and I can actually make a little bit of money because we're pretty much giving it away right now. So whatever plan you want, make sure you have it locked in by June 5th. We're giving you guys a month. No BS of the first 20 people when we know hundreds of people are going to sign up for this. We just want to give you enough time to go through some of the trainings, go through the free trial, and literally make the right decision for your business as you scale.
Yep. The difference between a funnel and a website is a funnel is typically a landing page that goes in a series. So you would have like fill out a form, thank you page, that kind of thing, or just one single page. Where a website is actually, I can go to like a template library, is typically a multi-page site. So you have a page with navigation at the top, which in technical terms is a landing page that has navigation between them, between multiple landing pages is basically what a website is. But you really don't need to do that type of stuff. Most people, when they have on most websites that have the multiple pages, it's just that you could do this without having to do it that way. There's ways to do it without it. And so that's kind of difference. A landing page is designed to be, and this is why we use landing pages. You have nowhere to go but be on that page. There's no navigation anywhere else. There's no other pages to visit. You're on that page with that information, and you have one objective to convert or leave. That's basically it. Where a full-fledged website, you have multiple pages. So if you go to like buildstyourwealth.com, you can log in, you can see other products, you can see the different offerings we have. That's kind of the difference between a website and the pages. The websites are in the Sucrose level, and the landing pages are in the normal, the host level. That's kind of the big difference between the two. So that's kind of the first two cores, right? Email marketing, landing page design. Third core is the third core is actually social media management. So if I go into the marketing side, a lot of people don't realize because you don't do it enough, or because you don't do it enough, you don't realize the pain you get into of when you are managing one property. If you have your Instagram account on Facebook or on your phone, for example, and you're managing one property, it's not that bad to like log in and take a picture and post it and manually type it, or you post on Facebook, you manually type that, or they share one to the other. But as you start doing this at scale or want to really plan ahead, you want a social media management platform to be able to do that for you. And so, for example, with this, I'll open the planner up. I was playing around earlier today. I could schedule posts to go out for any social media accounts, so, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, images or videos, depending on which platform accepts what, that I can just sit down and schedule it. So instead of you having to remember, oh crap, it's 10 o'clock or it's 9:46 in Central Time right now, let me upload the picture I took yesterday to Instagram and then put it on the story and I won't remember it. I can schedule all of that inside a social media planner. It's literally as easy as you think it is. I can make a new post. And the cool thing is they have, like anything else, there's templates you can use for things. But I'm just making a brand new post. You can upload things as well. Make a brand new post. And you
so
pick
Chris, I can, just so everybody knows, I can make a social media post. I can design it with one of the Canva templates and then upload it to post it, correct?
Yes. And so I could pick a Facebook page. Let me use Bella Vista, for example. I could pick an Instagram page. Bella Vista doesn't have an Instagram page, so I'll just use the Bella Vista URL one. Then I can upload my content. So if I want an image, here's the previous ones I've uploaded, but I can upload anything new. Let me just pick this one. Boom. So show me a preview. This is what it looked like on Facebook. That's what it looked like on Instagram. And then I could put some text in here. Welcome to Sunset Point. Think again, kind of shows me the preview. Then I could post it right now. I can schedule it. Some of the cooler features here is that one, I can have the follow-up comment. This isn't available in all social media platforms. A follow-up comment is usually what you use on Instagram to hide the hashtags you use so they're not inside your primary comment. And so that way you can put, if you have the comment hashtags you use, there's a ton of tools out there for that. You can put those in this first comment, and that will be, it'll post the post and it'll make the first comment. And that way it'll still give you the reach of all those hashtags without punishing you for putting all those hashtags inside your actual primary content itself. Basically, like right now, if I wanted to post this, I could post it. I could schedule it for a future date. And it's just as easy as picking a date, picking a time, and boom, I could schedule the post out. I could save a draft. So if I was working on it and I want to come back and I want to go to ChatGPT, make my text better. I could save it for later, and then boom, I have a draft. You can kind of see my drafts I was playing with earlier. They're all in one spot. Or I could upload a video. So again, I pick where I'm sending them to. I'm going to go Bella Vista, Bella Vista Wealth. I'm going to upload, that's an image. I'm going to upload a piece of video content. So I'm going to go grab something from here. Let's grab this one. And then you get to just play by the rules of that specific platform. So, for example, Instagram, if you're doing it from a social media management platform like this, has to be under 60 seconds. Even though natively you could upload it from the app, longer videos than that, it just won't let you from any social media management platform. They haven't opened their API to allow that. But same thing. So this is a video now. It kind of shows me the preview, what it would look like. Type the text and the same exact stuff. I could post it. I could schedule it. So for those of you who are really to want to make a dent, here's the thing that moves the needle. People think like, oh, I'm going to post on social media once in a while. That's going to get me a following. It just doesn't work that way. Social media of any kind, whether it's YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, if you really want to grow organically, you have to post consistently. And to post consistently, to do that without a tool like a planner is really, really difficult. So if you've watched many of the previous trainings, we've gone into really dive deep into how you use ChatGPT with Jasper to create a marketing plan, with Canva to be able to then create a bunch of images real quick. So in a couple hours, you could schedule an entire month's worth of content for a particular property. That's not just pictures of the property, but actual using relative hashtags and things about the area and highlighting those different things. So this is really where we talked about before, the beginning part. But now this is the second part of that, of like, well, once you create the content, what do you do with it? Well, you use a social media management platform like what we have inside of marketmystr to actually schedule all that content out.
Is there a limit to the number of social media accounts in a social media manager, Chris? I don't know the answer to that question.
There isn't. As you can see, I could connect every page I'm an admin on when I was setting this up.
So unlimited social accounts, unlimited Instagrams, unlimited TikToks, right?
Correct. Yeah. As far as I know, there is no limit.
All right. So Bella, what are the automations? I don't see any explanations on your website about that. And you just said it was one of the most important features of the Superhost level. You want to explain that quickly?
Yep. So an automation is, or as a workflow, which I think is equally a great way to explain what it is. Basically, it allows you to say, when someone does something, there's an action or a trigger, something else happens. That's the key basics to an automation. So I'm going to create one, and I'm doing one from scratch just to show a quick example of what you can do, what can trigger what. So basically, the way any automation works in any platform that does this, whether it's MailChimp or ActiveCampaign for emails or HubSpot or any of the other ones, that starts with a trigger. What happens? And then when they do that trigger, what happens after that? So the triggers can be a whole bunch of stuff. New contacts are created, new tags are added.
And let's go through this super quick, Chris, so that way I don't want to teach them. I just want to explain what it does.
Any certain actions, they submit forms, they call, they miss, they do an event, certain categories happen in some of the learning modules, payment miss, order place, they watch a certain amount of a video. All these things can cause the start of a trigger. And after that, you add an action. Well, what happens? Well, when they do this, they get tagged, they get sent an email.
So let me jump in here. So let's say a guest checks out of your property and you have a text message set up to send to them. And they reply to that text message and click on a link and go from your beach property to your mountain property. Then you could schedule to send a mountain property email to them 8 days later. Is that what you're talking about, Chris?
Correct.
So just really simple use case. You can create your sequence for a year or a month or 2 weeks or whatever it is, including email marketing, text messaging, and because of the veracity of this platform, you can include video because it'll host your videos, and you can add links to that in your text message and also in your email marketing. So that way you set it one time and you don't have to manually do that process, which is where all of us break down, because we're not going to follow up manually with a client 6 or 7 times over a 5 or 6 month period. You can also trigger this based on information, the date of their checkout, a lot of different things that you have in the tagging. If you get their birthdays, you could send them a happy birthday and a 10% discount to book with your property. A lot of those types of things. So that's why the automation is critical. Chris and I will be doing more training and use case on how to use the triggers and how to use this automation as we launch the program.
Yep. And like Bill mentioned, automations can be as basic as you want. Could just be a series of emails when someone books with you, that you put them into the automation, and every month they get an email. You can set all that up inside of here. They're going to be super, super advanced. They click something, it triggers something else. You miss a call, it triggers anything else. And their example workflows, when I click new, like I said, there's lots of templates for things. There's examples or recipes, as a great way to call it, which is, you missed the call, and so it automatically texts them back, and then it sends a notification to remind you, or it can have Facebook messaging, or even Instagram messaging, or some other really advanced things can be inside of here as far as automation and workflows go.
I mean, I can't emphasize enough, if you see that we will have more recipes that are actually already built for you too. So it's that whole sequence, and all you have to do is just select it and add your email copy, add your text mail copy. The timing, the sequence, the triggers are already done for you.
And I want to highlight someone asked specifically, can you schedule a private one-on-one in the trainings? The beautiful part is a lot of other platforms, no matter what you want to do, you can't get that kind of level of help. Like I couldn't go to Lead Pages and be like, hey, I have a bunch of images and here's my Airbnb listing. Can you make the page for me? But literally Scott's team can do that. They have, part of the training support, there's a section where you can actually go in and really book their time to give them. So if you wanted them to be the one to upload an email list and tag everything properly, they can do that. If you wanted them to be the ones to actually create a landing page for you and like, here's the template, here's the images I have, here's the text I have, and literally just have them do it, they can do that. For some of you that are on the less tech savvy side, or honestly on the less have time to learn something side, there's lots of ways that Scott's team is being unbelievable as far as the support goes and the offerings that you just can't find anywhere else, because in most places you would never be able to do that. I can't go to ClickFunnels and be like, hey, make my funnel for me. But with his team, you can actually get their time, book their time, and then print anything inside the platform that you can do. You can have them do with you and give them the information. They can knock it out for you in that time. It's
and a lot of you are asking about, is there a trial? Yes, there's a 14-day free trial. What the pricing is? Yes, this is the website. All the info's there. The one thing that Bill and Chris will not be doing, just FYI, is technical support. We have a full team that will be doing that with Scott. And as you've seen some of the previous people that have been in the beta program that we've rolled out, Scott and his team have been absolutely off the charts phenomenal. It's crazy. Let's see. Scott's team has an expense, right? So Chris, so it's $250 for white glove service to get everything onboarded, get everything set up, and he'll have that done for you in an hour. We talked about this at the beginning. I use the analogy of Chris doing it versus I doing it. Chris could get it done in an hour. It would take me 4 or 5 hours to get it done. So I would pay Scott to get it done. That $250 is worth my time to do that. Then the next option is we have Tuesday and Thursday live support calls that Scott runs, which is awesome. There's also live chat support for you. If you do want to get your WordPress site, synced in, if you do want templates to be built for you, anything done for you, it's $75 an hour. And that is ridiculously cheap. HubSpot doesn't do that shit. ActiveCampaign doesn't do that stuff. They'll set up your tags, they'll build sales pages, whatever you want at $75 an hour. If you're prepared and like, hey, I like this template, or I want to use Bill's template, and here's my copy, here's my images, and you have it ready to deliver to them in a Dropbox, or you upload it, you will maximize that time. If you come in not prepared, like anything else, then you won't be able to maximize the time. So we have a team that will build your stuff for you. We have a team that will implement everything for you. And then Chris and I are going to continue to try to add value for you guys through this entire process by helping you from the marketing side as well.
Yep, absolutely.
And somebody asked, could I replace pieces of my real estate business marketing pieces? Yes, 100%. So you can use this for your HVAC company, your cookie shop, your coffee shop, your STRs, your co-hosting business. You can use it for everything.
Yeah, you can actually, I don't want to get too advanced into some of the features, but like the domain I connected to be able to use the funnels, for example, it's just a subdomain off of Key Vacation Rental. So you could connect multiple domains, subdomains, different things like that to be able to have multiple sites across multiple places and pages going. In an individual page, I have the ability to tell it in the settings what domain it uses. That way you could have, this page go to this domain, this page go to that domain. I have full control over what shows after and how all that gets routed. So it makes it super easy for managing multiple things, including inside the contacts because of the way the tagging works, to be able to say, okay, this tags for this business, that's tag number 1. And because I can make smart lists, I could actually have multiple tags. So I could say that tag number 1 is, tag number 1 is Gulf Shores, and then tag number 2 is a second tag, and that way I can create a smart list of options to be able to market to, email to, all that kind of stuff. It's crazy how powerful the tagging system and the combinations of using tags and filters is.
Chris, you want to explain this?
Yep. So there's a few things that come with the ability to be able to text, take calls, and send some things like that. And so just to have a phone number for Google or a Google Voice number costs a certain amount per month. And so everyone, the host account gets $5 a month in complimentary phone, text, email credits. The super hosts at the next level get $10 per month in that. And then after you use those credits, they cost more money. So if you haven't done like text message marketing before, it costs money to send per text. And they actually kind of wrote down here, it's phone calls are 21 cents, 0.021 cents a minute. Text are 0.0119 per 160 characters. That's very common. Emails are like 0.0001, way down there. So to get the phone number, instead of you having to pay for that as a separate cost or having to have it set up separately, we give a credit per month to be able to cover those, a good amount of text and a good amount of emails. For most people, they wouldn't hit that. But if you go above that, then obviously, if you sent, 100 or 100,000 emails in a month, which is an insane number of emails, you sent, 5,000 emails in a month, then you might get charged like $1 to be able to cover that additional send, or text messages specifically, because they actually cost a decent amount of money to text people. If you sent, to your 5,000 person list, a couple texts in a month, then, it might cost you $1 or $2 to cover that. That's kind of
Here's what's really important, Melissa. This is why we're not making any money on this. If you sign up for MailChimp, ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, Sharper, Spring, Infusionsoft, whatever it is, you upload your list, you're paying for that list, whether you use it or not. The thing about this is it's pay as you go when you do that, right? That is awesome. And the thing that sucks is, like, I love simple texting. I want to use this for my texting, and I'm going to try to migrate people over this. Like, if you're on my Superhost Sunday, Chris, what are we paying? I'm paying like $99 a month just for my texting platform.
Yep.
Right. And when I go over and I use my credits as my list bills, then I get billed additionally on top of that. So very common that those price points, and those are lower than most, but we are not paying you just for the size of or charging you just for the size of your list. We're only going to charge you on a for use basis that is basically a pass through for us, just like our cleaning costs in most cases, with cleaners to the providers that are integrated into the team.
And those credits cover, it's not like it's, the first text you send, or the first 500 texts you send are going to cost you anything. That's what those credits are there for.
Even the phone service, Chris. I mean, unless you are using it like a regular phone, you're not going to pay anything. It's just, you can make probably 100, 200, I don't know what the exact number is, like 100 minutes on the phone, which none of us will ever do, because most of our communication is going to be platform email, and text message.
To hit Maggie's question, I want to go shift into, because you can text, basically for text messaging, I can click any contact, just like I can send them an email, I can send them a text. If I have a conversation with someone, I can actually text them back and forth. It's like this lead came from the live chat. I could just send an email or send texts back and forth. It'll all come in here. On my phone, I have the app. So I think John Hodge was asking, what does the app do? Well, the app primarily is for the communication side. So that way, like, there's no app that exists to let you build emails and landing pages. You have to do that on a desktop, or on an iPad, on any platform. But to be able to manage conversations, answer things, you can do that right from the app on the phone. So all that gets linked together inside this conversations, which is beyond powerful. Like I said, the live chat widget is just pops right in here. I can start a conversation, switch it to SMS, go back and forth. All stays right in here together, so I can track it. I can then tag them, move them, put them in a pipeline, put them in a workflow, all that stuff right from here. Yes,
you can get rid of your soft phone, Nicholas. I mean, that's the beauty of it. I mean, it's a no-brainer at $97 a month. How is this different texting service than OwnerRez, Melanie? It's integrated. I mean, you can use it in funnels. It's completely different. And honestly, unless you go crazy like I do, I shouldn't say I go crazy. I don't even know that I would have to pay for texting the amount of texting that we do, unless I really got into some multimedia MMS messages that I think typically those are charged at what, like 3 or 4x, Chris? Like, instead of a quarter of 1 penny, it's like a penny each or whatever. So I just don't see many people having any charges for phone or text. If you have 3,000 people on your email list and you're emailing, like my good friend Mike Sjogren, who sends out 2 to 3 emails a day, then you're probably going to have some email expense that goes on top of that. But for 99% of us, there's not going to be, for phone or text, any additional charges, and email would be definitely minimal, but it can replace the soft phone as well. So the texting is just different. You can create funnels with texting. You can create a funnel that has texting and also email. And then the texting, if you really want to communicate via text, you can use all the triggers that we talked in the tagging systems. It's way more robust and different than OwnerRez.
Yeah, I want to try and answer some of the,
I'm confused. What is left at OwnerRez other than smart lock integration? I don't use Price Labs or any other API, only PM. So if you're like using straight VRBO and Airbnb and you're not using any of that other stuff, then really what you're missing is the ability to book direct, right? So that's the thing is you can use these sales pages as 25% of the program or 20% of the program, and then link back to your Airbnb and Vrbo, but you're just not going to have a very high conversion, whether it's in our system or anybody else's. That's the purpose of being able to have a highly converting sales page and actually taking the booking on that page. That's the advantage for any of us that are using PMSs, property management systems, that have a direct booking widget, an embed code that we can copy and paste onto any web page like this, right? So there's a lot more other stuff in OwnerRez. You're just not using it. If you're an OwnerRez user, then you should probably maybe dial down and look at something a little bit simpler like Hospitable.
Yeah, I want to be very clear that this isn't a property management system. It doesn't sync calendars between properties. It doesn't update your listings across, things, photos. It doesn't do pricing. It doesn't do any of that. It's a marketing platform. You have to use a PMS to be able to get a direct booking widget to get the most, honestly, out of it. You could link someone to the Airbnb, but it's not going to be as powerful as having the widget to actually let them book inside of it. That's what OwnerRez or Hospitable or Guesty. It is a system that allows you to connect into the API or the back end of Airbnb, Vrbo, or any of the other sites that exist that they can connect to, and keeps everything synced, keeps the calendar synced, and then allows information to flow back and forth between them and keep everything working together.
You are going to use OwnerRez, Guesty, Lodgify, Hospitable to manage your business. Correct. Right? And manage your guests while they're staying at your property. Once they're done off your property, or when you're trying to get people to come to your property before and after the stay, this is your marketing piece, right? And you've got everything under one umbrella. It's not replacing anything with any of the PMSs. I guess text messaging from OwnerRez and that type of stuff. You just need to think about this. It's completely separate. It is 100% a marketing tool that will do everything for you. Will our company name show up on the bottom of the page? Your company name will show up in your logos wherever you want to put them. There will not be MarketMySTR on those pages. Can you do Facebook ads using the platform? Yes, you can do Facebook ads via the platform.
Not exactly API. Like that.
Go ahead.
Not like that, like what they're saying. So like I can monitor certain things as far as what Facebook ads are, or for
you think he's asking about creating the ads?
Correct. You have to do that inside of Facebook's platform.
There's only one place you can do that. That's in Facebook. Once again, I would not ask to cancel services. This has nothing to do with API. If you're API integrated with Airbnb, Vrbo, QuickBooks, Facebook, Google, all those things, the great things about OwnerRez, I wouldn't get rid of them. It's something that is an advantage of being integrated with OwnerRez. Anything else that we're missing? Any other questions? Just pop them into the comments. I think we've covered pretty much everything. Anything else you want to cover, Chris?
Okay, so no, go ahead. Yeah, I was going to answer that one real quick. So I'm not sure the specifics of the setup process, but I believe because of the use of the Google My Voice number, that's why the text messaging works. It's not a mass texting. There's no like text code. It's just like if I was texting you as an individual, that's the way the text messaging works. So it's not like it's a And for simple texting, where you have to have a code, it's a shared code, and we have certain rules and regulations you have to follow because it's designed to be a one person texting hundreds or thousands of people. It reacts as a individual, like if I was texting you as an individual person. That's why it works.
Jeremy, yes. Do you have campaigns set up for specific smart list words for emails, and do you have templates with incentives? No templates with incentives. Our Host Academy members have full funnels that are already built that they can easily build into this platform. We will not be building full funnels inside of this in the host or the Superhost platform. We will, if you look at the next level platform, have those funnels built inside of that platform. But that is significantly more expensive.
It's too specific. It doesn't do you any good for us to give you a generic, like, here's a sort of message you could possibly send during certain times. So like, it's so dependent on market, property, time of year, what type of property you have, what other properties. There's so much that goes into that, more than just like, here's some basic emails you should send. And that's all we would be able to give you. And so that's why, like in Host Academy, we have some specifics we try and dive into, because it needs to be customized for you more than what we can do at that level.
Patty, yes, Chris kind of ran through it earlier. There's a ton of templates similar to like Canva stuff that you can easily quickly customize inside of here for social media. Jeff, does this benefit if we do not have an email list? Absolutely. Just remove the email list component, and you're going to use the social media and that type of stuff to build your email list along with something like StayFi. But you'll also have your direct booking website, your compression event pages hosted. You'll have your text marketing. You'll have all the other stuff that goes along with it. So can we build a website via marketmystr and then integrate it to Guesty per se? And then we have both an integrated calendar website and a market platform. I don't really fully understand what they're asking. And I don't even know. There's two levels of Guesty, and I believe Guesty Pro versus Guesty for Host has a booking widget. All you would do is take the booking widget and drop it right on the page, like we did as the example with OwnerRez. If not, if you don't have that within your PMS, then I would build your high converting sales pages here and link back to Guesty or link back to Logify. But it's something that I would definitely request from Hostfully Guesty. Everybody, you want that ability for a booking widget so you can have control, because we don't have access to update, manage any of those platforms that they own. And that's the issue. And that's one of the reasons that we've done this. Yes, you can create a direct booking website here.
Yeah, one page, multiple pages, whatever you want.
I've used this app before for texting and found it very hard to use. Does this text from your phone, text messaging, or from the app?
I'm trying to understand. So technically, it texts from the number that you created and connected it to, which is a Google Voice number. And so the texting comes from, I could text a contact, and then it would show up as on my phone. So like, for example, I have a contact I was working on earlier. So I can get that, my light's kind of all in the way. I could text back and forth that way, or inside the platform for any contact that you began a conversation with. Inside those conversations, let me share my screen again. Inside those conversations, I could text back and forth. So texting is multiple parts, right? I can respond via text. I could send text as far as a marketing campaign, or I can just have conversations back and forth. It stays inside of here, whether it's via email or via text. As long as it's with the same contact, I initiate it from the platform, it will stay in the platform and work back and forth.
Good stuff. Amanda, every Tuesday and Thursday, Scott and his team are doing 1 hour, support calls, basically live Zooms, to where he answers all the questions and helps you outside of all the other support that you guys will get as well. How does Zapier push data to marketmystr, e.g. new guest info from StayFi into my email list? 100%, Michael. That's exactly what happens. If you connect StayFi and MarketMySTR via Zapier, it will just zap the information. It just grabs it and throws it over into MarketMySTR when it comes in, along with a gazillion other platforms too. Zapier is amazing. Chris uses it all the time to connect all the softwares that we have. And literally, I think there's over 5,000 different platforms that it connects. Like I said earlier, it's kind of the plumbing underneath the sink or behind the drywall that we really don't see and how it works. Joseph, yes, that's kind of that's the deal of the social media scheduler, if you will, and kind of the way that I use it is I will go and I will schedule on Sunday night and try to knock out an entire week's worth of posts that are going to happen on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and LinkedIn, which are the core platforms that I use. So I don't have to try to do it every day, and I can schedule different times. I can schedule different types of posts, or I can just, schedule once and just click TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever platform you're using, and schedule it at the same time or different times.
Yeah, well, actually, you can't schedule a post from a personal Facebook page in that way from any social media planner. It has to be an actual page.
A business page.
Correct. And a business Facebook account will let you do it to a personal one.
Will the emails and texts I send come from my real email address or phone number?
Whatever you have set. So you can have the Google Voice number forward to you. So if someone calls you or texts you, it can go that way. You usually don't want to use you can't use your my cell phone number to call and text from. It's illegal to do it in that way through a platform like this. So they have to set up a new number for it. But you can set up whatever email you want it to come from or go to, and whatever number to come from and go to.
I don't know what Brooke uses at Vintory, to be honest with you, so I can't compare. I was thinking more about talking the big picture on my money, losing property, not so much the tech side of this. I don't know what that means.
I do want to answer this one real quick, in that if you build inside of the platform, that if you stop paying, obviously you would stop having the landing page, the text messages see around, just like any other platform you build. And if I have
HubSpot,
MailChimp,
lead pages, ClickFunnels, any of
if
them.
I have MailChimp and I stop using it, then if I stop paying for it, then I can't send emails through MailChimp. It works the exact same way. So if you build inside of here, yes, that if you stop paying for it, obviously you won't be, those pages, I mean, they'll still be in there because it's not like your account's going to get deleted, but if you stop paying for it, they would no longer be active.
Cool. Awesome. Great stuff. Chris, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll do this, maybe not this long, hour and 60 minutes. Those of you that stayed on, the 118 of you, I think we're at like 225 at one time. Yeah. Thank you. Hold on. It's one last
sorry.
one.
I dropped it. My bad. I did it. That was my bad. It can be any domain you want. So my example was a subdomain, book.keyofvacationrentals.com. You can do full domains. Any domain you own, you can direct URLs to from there. So it doesn't have to be actually, I don't think it can be a marketmystr domain. I think it has to be a true domain or subdomain.
Yeah, it could be Bill's beautiful STRs at the beach, .com, and, create a subdomain to that. And if you don't know how to do that, that's why you probably want to consider having Scott do that for you. In the white glove service.
It's super easy for those of you who have that experience in it. It literally took me 30 seconds to connect a subdomain, but those who don't, the white glove, he can knock it out in no time for you.
And I'll emphasize that. I would use the white glove, no chance that Chris would use it. So honestly, what I'd recommend is you could try to set everything up on your own first, and if you struggle a little bit, then you can always go back and get the white glove. It's not like something we're trying to sell you. To make money on. Hopefully you guys can do it without it. We want this to be as affordable and cost efficient as possible, but it's there if you need it. And the cool thing too, Chris, can you just pull up my STR and show them, the live chat down in the bottom right-hand corner? I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not.
Yeah, here. Ooh, switch it there.
On the homepage, see this right here? So this is the exact same thing that you're going to have for support, Monday through Friday. And this is what you can actually drop onto your sales pages and web pages as well. And you can actually set up and pre-can messaging and links and all that type of stuff. That's why when you do use live chat, it increases conversions by between 25 to 35%. And when you're not available to be able to do it, you can actually go in and, use it as a lead capture, just like that right there. So name, phone number, email, and message. And that syncs right into your CRM. So it's actually part of your lead magnet, your email list building strategy as well. How can I send playback of this live stream to a partner? You can just send them the link, Kelly, whether you're watching it on one of the Facebook broadcasts or the YouTube channel. Just give them the link and it's going to live wherever you're watching it forever in infamy. Will you be adding these questions and answers to your website so we can go back and review all the answers again?
I think Scott's team will pull some of the more super relevant ones, but obviously there were a lot of very specific questions. We will continue to build up the FAQ, but in the end, the chat's there for a reason. So if you do have specific questions, you can always hop in the chat. And Scott's team, and we're constantly talking. So if he has a question that's confusing for him, that's not about the platform, about kind of the SDR world, we can help him translate it for him.
Yes, you can. So you could, if you have 5 properties, you could build 5 landing pages, and then you could build a landing page with all 5 of your properties. The one thing that people will do, we'll get into more in this of how to actually execute. I would not take your landing pages and link to the page with all your properties. The whole purpose of a landing page is for the person to visit to take one action, and that's to book with you, to buy from you, to schedule a coaching call, whatever it is. It's one thing. And if you really follow what Chris and I do, we never, ever, not one time have ever sent an email, a social media post in the Facebook group, a reel that I do on TikTok or Instagram, a text message. We never send you to a website, ever, ever, because we're very well experienced marketers. We're going to send you to one sales page. Now, when you send that email that goes out to your guests that stayed with you in the last month, and they stayed at the beach, you can introduce your other properties. That's literally the only time you'd really want to send them, to the website. When you're putting effort, whether it's organic or paid, to drive traffic with somebody that visits you, you want to send them to a sales page. I'm going to use a really quick example, especially for all my ladies out there. If you want royal blue Jimmy Choo 4.5-inch size 8 stiletto heels, and you go to Nordstrom.com and you get hit with that beautiful shoe from Nordstrom with a Facebook ad or an organic post or an email, and you click on it and it takes you to Nordstrom.com, you're going to be kind of frustrated. It didn't take you exactly where you want to go. It's kind of like, hey guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, I need you guys to disconnect. Chris is going to post a link, and we're going to go over to LinkedIn to finish this conversation. That's what happens when you send people to a website, because now you have to work. And you have to go and search, and you have to find the stuff. What you want to do is, if you're selling your beach property, whatever medium you're using for your traffic generation, and think about if I'm sitting at a bar with you and we meet for the first time. Oh yeah, I'm thinking about taking my family down to Naples this winter, and you happen to own a duplex or a condo or a beachfront house in Naples. And I say, man, I'd sure love to see it. And then you say, oh yeah, just go to Airbnb and search for me. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm not doing that. You're going to give me the link to your direct booking website. And you're going to tell me that I can save the booking fees, right? We've already established a relationship. You're going to send me right to what you want to sell me. That's really the fundamental difference and why I'm so anti-website, and it's all about the conversion rates.
I want to hit this one real quick. Yes, you can create a blog. There's a whole blog feature. I believe that's in the Sucrose level. I think it's a feature specifically highlighted, but it could be in the host level. I'll get clarification from Scott on that.
And basically, you can just ask the chat lady and she'd be able to tell you immediately as well.
But basically, you just have to create the blog element inside either a single funnel page or a full-blown website, and that could create blog posts that go to that particular element. And so, yeah, you can do that. It's very, very powerful for that as well.
Awesome. All right, we're going to wrap up. Thank you very much for being here. We're going to be here to support you guys as we go through this. Chris and I will be in Montana at my Montana retreat next week. But the week after, we'll probably do another one of these and answer all the questions for people that have not signed up and talk. Probably, I'm sure you'll have, and the ones that have will have a lot of questions about the marketing stuff and everything else. So thank you very much for joining us today. Chris, I'll talk to you later. I'm going to celebrate my birthday with my wife.
Happy birthday, Bill.
See you, everybody.